Hey, good morning. Good morning, Facebook. Facebook Live. This is your comedic health, wellness, and life coach, Susan Wolf, coming to you with my cup of Java. Wednesday morning. This is Small Bites Wednesday. I hope you're here. I hope you're listening. I got what I think is some good stuff. Last week we talked about listening to your body cues, right? Like, when are you really hungry? Is it because the clock says, hey, it's breakfast time, you've eaten at this time all your life, just eat, whether you're hungry or not. But then when you really figure out when you're hungry, when do you know how to stop? Like, not get so full that we're going to explode, like Thanksgiving full. A lot of us get on every meal. Like, we strive to feel that. So I mentioned start eating when you're at 2, yes, the number 2, and stop eating when you're the number 7, yes, 7, yes, 7. What does that mean? It means that you're just starting to get hungry, which is a number 2. Right? You're going to stop eating when you're at a 7. What 7 means is that you're feeling satisfied from food, right? You're not going to take that extra bite, those extra bites, picking at food once you're done, because you're at a 7. I like to call that feeling of being energized and satisfied a 7. So it's more, they're like theoretical numbers, right? So it's just a gauge. It's just to start to help you to eating, when to start eating, when you're getting a little hungry versus being, right, where you're going to grab at anything to get rid of that awful feeling of hunger, right? And then stop eating when you're at a 7, when food has energized you. We can talk more about that at any time that you want. Leave me a message if you want more tips on that. But this is what brings me here today to Small Bites Wednesday. I have figured out that I have been a professional sloucher, right? I have slouched my entire life. When I was in high school, or even a little bit younger, when I started to develop, and I was shy, and I was intimidated by my own body, and I didn't want anybody calling attention to it. And I remember when walking down the corridors in probably junior high or whatever it was, and realizing that I'm this, I'm a woman developing, like a little kid developing this body, and I didn't want anybody to stare at me or look at me or call any attention to that, and I kind of slouched and covered up, and I didn't want to be seen. Meanwhile, 50 years or so later, here I am in my 50s, and I slouch, right? I'm like a professional sloucher. I think the only time, I think a lot of us might slouch, right? When do we stand up straight? When we're taking pictures, right? We stand up to take pictures. When we may be meeting a boss, right? A new possible employer, right? That's going to interview us. You want to have good posture. Hell, I remember 13 years ago when I met my partner for the very first time. We met we met online, but when we first physically met at Logan Airport in Boston, yes, some of you are very familiar with that, I couldn't have stood up any taller than I was standing up, right? I even had a sign, Eastie is here to meet Westie, or something like that. The sign I never got to show it because I was so nervous, I just had it tucked under my arm, but I stood. Other than that, man, I just went back to slouching. So I hurt my back about 3 weeks ago, and I've never had a back problem. Right? And the reason I'm telling you this is because I figured out, but other areas of my life, to be able to take on new, healthy lifestyle habits. So I hurt my back, and I'm thinking to myself, I do not want to go through life having a back problem. So I can say to people, oh, can't do it, threw my back out, like they would come out of my mouth, and they're not. I don't want to ever say that. I have bad knees. You'll never hear me say I have bad knees, except for right now to make this point. But I walk, I hike, I do everything that I possibly can do to try to stay mentally and emotionally fit. So the reason why I'm bringing up the bad back is because, hell, I don't want to have a bad back. I don't ever want to say it. And I don't want a bad back. It sucks. It hurts. Bad. So I thought to myself, how do I get rid of this and for the last time? Like, I don't want to have reoccurrence. Well, I started standing up straight. I thought to myself, it's my lower back right that hurt me. If I could just bring my upper body, my upper torso, if you will, up out of my, kind of like out from sitting in my hips, does that make sense? And just do that, it'll take so much pressure off of my lower back. So that's what I started to do. Not only did it help that, but I gained 2 to 3 inches. And I look taller, I feel taller, I feel confident, and I look more confident. So it's like a big bang for your buck. How do you keep a habit? Like, how do you maintain practicing a habit, right? That's the toughest part. Because I have tried that off and on my entire life to stand up straight, but it was so uncomfortable to do it. It was more comfortable to stay comfortable, right? Slouching. I've actually gotten myself to a point where it's more comfortable to stand up straight than it is to slouch. I got over that hump, not the one on my back, but it would have been on my back, hump of struggling with it. And how I did it was I made myself aware of the fact that I really wanted to do this goal. You know what made me want to do the goal? Was pain and suffering from having a bad back. So that's what kept me going. So if you have a habit or a goal that you want to attain, here's the deal. Find something you're passionate enough to want to keep doing it, to keep the awareness alive. So every day when I was out or sitting in my chair or eating dinner or sitting on the couch, I thought about that sore back that I had, right, that lower back. And it made me sit up straight. Did I do it all the time? No. I would go back to slouching. And then every time I walk now, I'm like, oh, stand up straight. So I would. And I would get further and further and then realize that I'm slouching. And then it would come back to me, stand up straight. So I would try it. I just mentioned it. I am at the point now, it's about 3, almost 4 weeks in. I am standing up straight probably about 90% of the time. Yes, 90% of the time. Amazing. So you can try this with any habit or goal that you want to attain, that maybe you've tried it in the past, right? And you just haven't been able to do it. Say, you forget about it, right? Or you've never tried it, but you really want to go for it. Go for it. Try it. Maybe try something that is easily attainable, right? Which, as we know, isn't easily attainable because even easy things are difficult to get to. But don't do anything grandiose. Maybe pick something that you know how to do, right? Like you've started it at maybe a couple of other times. Revisit it, and find an anchor. Find that thing that's going to have you remember to continue to try doing it. Maybe put some sticky notes up. Maybe put a big sign that says, do that thing, practice that thing. Put that on your refrigerator. We spend a lot of time in the kitchen, right? We spend a lot of time by the TV. Maybe right next to the TV, have that sign, picture. Whatever it is that's going to get you to stop moving towards that goal, to start achieving that habit. All right, well, listen. Small Bites Wednesday. And I'm out of here right now. This is Hump Day, right in the middle of the week. And weekend, I will see you Friday for Funny AF Fridays. All right, my friends, you have a great one. This is your health coach, Susan Wolf, comedian Susan Wolf, signing out, and you having an amazing day. All right, y'all, be safe.